On January 20th, 2023, Juventus were third in the league table with 37 points from 18 games. Massimiliano Allegri's side were just 1 point behind AC Milan and 10 behind leaders Napoli. They were definitely still one of the title contenders. However, the next day they found themselves on the 10th place with just 22 points.
No! No!
The Italian National Football Federation deducted 15 points from Juve. The reason were financial irregularities and false accounting in relation to the past transfer dealings. This is a story of Juventus being entangled in yet another scandal, just like in 2006 when they were relegated to the Serie B, having been found guilty of match fixing. This time it was a financial problem that started back in 2020. In June 2020, Barcelona exchanged Arthur for Miralem Pjanic in a swap deal with Juventus. The Barcelona midfielder joined Juventus for 72 million euros and Miralem Pjanic joined Barca for 60 million euros. Officially, these two transfers were not connected. They were not announced as part of the same deal. From a retrospective view, this deal was a failure for both clubs, because none of the players are there anymore and both of them had little to no impact to their respective teams. Clearly, these transfer fees look inflated. But the thing is that even if this transfer was a huge success for Barcelona and Miralem Pjanic turned out to be their best player, helping them win every title possible, on the other hand, Arthur absolutely flopped and played 0 games for Juve. This transfer would still be a right move for Juventus, but obviously for all the wrong reasons. The swap deal was declared illegal by many journalists. It was among a number that were scrutinized in an investigation into capital gains on the transfer market. The term capital gain refers to the profit earned on the sale of an asset. So why are capital gains important in football? Because they count directly towards a club's annual profit. Some clubs have reportedly tried inflating the value of assets in order to be seen to have made a profit on certain transfers. This is what happened in this case. Both Barcelona and Juventus wanted to post a profit before the end of the financial year, which was at the end of that month when the transfers occurred. In reality, the only money which exchanged hands was the 12 million euros that Juve gave to Barcelona, which was the difference between the two transfer fees. However, because Juventus and Barcelona were in a bad financial state and they wanted to show a profit just on paper for specifically that year, they inflated the transfer fees of these players on purpose and showed a profit with the help of the amortization rule. This is how the rule works. If a club sells a player to another club for a 100 million fee, they get to record that 100 million as revenue. But if they spend 100 million for a player and they give him a 5-year deal, they can spread that 100 million evenly across the duration of the contract and pay 20 million every year. So by signing a player for 100 million on a 5-year contract, a club can show a capital gain of 80 million that first year. But of course that profit will just be on paper and not in real life. Doing this is completely legal. The illegal part is inflating players' transfer values on purpose in order to show a bigger profit on paper. This is exactly what Juve did.
This is business!
No immediate legal action followed this story, but recently an initial appeal was lodged by the Italian Football Federation's prosecutor, Giuseppe Chine. It is worth mentioning that Chine suggested a penalty of only 9 points, but the final decision turned out to be even harsher. As a result, Juventus were found guilty and were deducted 15 points from their Serie A tally of 37 and were dropped down to the 10th place. Additionally, Juve's ex-board members were punished too. Former Juventus chairman Andrea Agnelli has been banned from holding office in Italian football for 24 months. Pavel Nedved has also been banned for 8 months. Most notably, current Spurs sporting director Fabio Paratici has been banned for 30 months. Several Juventus players posted supportive messages for the club on Instagram. The 15-point deduction says Juventus dropped down to the mid-section of the Serie A. It is guaranteed that they are out of the title race, and reaching the Champions League spots also seems like an impossible task. Because of this, we might see a bunch of their players leave the club next season. Juve are definitely in some great trouble, and it will be interesting to see how this story progresses.